Good morning, good morning. We are live. Banana. Good morning, Dragon Dancer. How are you this final 2023 day? Year of changes. Good morning, Kelvin. Wonder Woman TV series. Let us know how it is going. That is on our list of to watch, but we have not quite got there just yet. Let me turn this down just a her. There, that should be a little better. I didn't realize it was quite so loud. Paranormal, hey. So today is not a normal scheduled show because remember, we do the first and third Sundays. However, I am not available next week. I will be flying out early Sunday for work. So, which, yes, it sucks, but I won't be available. So we may or may not have the show, meaning Rook may do it without me, but I won't be here. So we're like, let's go ahead and do one. Last day of the year. Really want to just we just felt like having it. Really felt like having it, in my opinion. I think it was the right thing to do, too. Getting my stuff. So Rook is cleaning up the gift that Miss VG left for us this morning, which I will share in just a moment. All right, charcoal is heating up. All right. I hate that I can't just make one thing, one window larger, zoomed in. It zooms all of them in, and that's kind of annoying actually, but I'll live. All right, so let's catch up here. Sorry. Covered in Kittens, best way to do it. Snowfall, miss it, love it. Kelvin, old school, yes. Agree, that is the one. We miss you too, Paranormal. We're glad you're back. Know a lot's going on. Ziggy, good morning. I'm so glad you are able to join. Just putting all my stuff where it goes. We'll get started pretty soon. I'm just waiting for Rook to clean up a thing or two. I will go ahead and share if anybody wants to know. So we got out. Hold on, I'm gonna turn this down just a little bit more still. I know it's not that loud for you guys probably, but it's very loud over here. So we got in last night and we're gonna watch a scary movie. Got the TV set up, got two things of microwavable popcorn out and just kind of set them up, getting ready to cook those. Sat on the couch and passed out. This morning, there is a trail of popcorn poo in the house. Thankfully, VG's belly isn't hot enough to pop the popcorn. So yeah, we're dealing with a little bit of extra work this morning we did not expect. So, that is why we're stalling this morning waiting for Rook. So, but anyway, we're gonna talk a little bit about the year, how this year went and everything that's changed and what the new year means, both, even though this isn't equivocally a spiritual new year, like a Samhain, or even for some it's Yule, right? Which is New Year. We celebrate Samhain, and the Day of the Dead really as our new year. That's when the newness starts. But as in the rest of the world, we have, you know, a new year. And so with that comes things and symbolism and representation and sympathetic magic ritual processes and things that we do. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to update where we are in books, on Goodreads, that kind of stuff. If you don't have Goodreads, you should get it and make yourself a Goodread challenge. I am not going to meet my challenge this year, even though I'm going to raise it next year. My challenge this year was 40 books. I hit 39. 38 done. I'm on the 39th book, so I'm not going to probably make it. But next year I'm going to go for 42. So I'm going to use that as my goal next year. Raise it just a little bit. What is that? 5%. A little bit for inflation, right? So that's kind of what we're thinking today, topic-wise. Anybody has anything else, please, you know, feel free. We like to hear it.
All right, Beachy's popping popcorn out of her butt.
Like she really is. I shared.
Ooh, I love this screen. Who's there? Ziggy, Paranormal.
Kelvin, Dragon,
Kelvin.
Glad you're spending New Year's Eve day with us.
Happy New Year's Eve.
Day. Yes, January 20th.
Ooh,
so yeah.
That's the best holiday.
It is, yes. Your infernal holiday is the most important of all.
Number 1.
You know, it's interesting. I don't spend a lot of energy on my birthday. Never has been a big thing for me. But I'm super excited how it kind of goes with the left-hand path, that it maybe will force me a little bit more to focus on that.
Oh, that's nice that you donated it to Dragon. I have to read. I need to catch up on them. Paranormal.
That's awesome. Our tarot works again, our tarot cam.
Oh, sweet.
But you have to get it in that thin line between the rocks all the way across.
Between the rocks. I've heard about getting rocks off, but in between the line. I'm forever nasty and perverted.
What time is it?
It's just who
it's
I
like
am.
10:50.
10:53.
Yeah, so I know last show we talked about having a whole new setup. You can't see it, but it is amazing for us. Like, it has really, really improved what we do. Although you may see a little bit. We don't have all the computers and stuff in front of us now. They're off screen, and we're excited about that. I'm excited about that. Oh, I don't know if you are. I made an infernal oil too. I'm very, very proud of. I adjusted one of the Ducant oils that is in Connolly's books. So maybe I'll talk about infernal oils. Smell that.
Oh, that smells nice.
Isn't it?
Like, what is that? What's in there?
Rose, chamomile, and pine with a little drop of camphor.
That goes really nicely together.
I know.
Very nicely.
What the hey? Let's go ahead and go early. I'm ready.
Let's go. And remember, drugs, not hugs. Just kidding, I'm a hugger.
I'm just here for the turkey leg. Ow, that hurt my knee. That hurt my knee. It's my knuckle.
I do believe you can have people around that bring you down from your high. Like, I think that's a real thing. It was in a song. You're ruining my high. I think it was Ja Rule and Ashanti. What's love got to do with it? You're ruining my high. You talk so much. So that is a real thing, but I'm a hugger. I just think this shirt
is a
funny.
mix of everything that we have made this year.
Both hugs and drugs, yes.
Drugs and hugs, yes. Does that smell good? So this is all the stuff we did with cups. This is all the celebrations
really
we
nice.
made. All of it together, plus one new one that we
Apparently
added.
I need to be cleansed, so.
You're just sitting in the most direction of the wind. We're gonna black sage the house when we're done, which is, I believe, mugwort, if I'm not mistaken.
Hello, Sage.
Yes. Sage.
What, my petite?
Ma has something to say. And she be saying.
She's wishing you all a great entry into 2024. Oh, that's a cool call. What is that? That's just the music.
Yes, that would be a DeLorean, though.
Oh, that's nice.
We're going to slowly minimize the music out and cut it and get started because we got a lot to talk about today. I'm super excited to do this. And now that we are not doing some other things, we may start doing more bonus ones. We talk about it every time, how we're going to stream games or do other things. We may or may not do that at any given time. They're not going to be scheduled, but just like today, we'll throw them in.
Hey, Quasette.
My petite, say hi.
She's so pretty.
I do not belong on the floor. I'm not a floor chihuahua. I'm a throne chihuahua. Give me a throne.
She is.
I actually did search Amazon for a dog throne.
Oh, she would need it.
Couldn't find it.
She would need it.
But we could get her a little purple dress, like a...
I like to see if people are saying anything.
Oh, how about you shut up and go away?
Okay.
Bye.
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 I was kicked off the...
Thanks for leaving your beer. Keep going.
Nope, nope, nope. I'm taking my beer.
This is LHP. No, bring the beer back. You can come back.
I'll go watch Wham Bam Tesla Cams.
That's a good idea. Doll thrones. She'll fit. Yes, she will. Ma, you want a dog? You want a throne?
Ooh, Dolly Thrones. She would fit.
Stop licking me. I know where your tongue has been.
In my punana? Yes, Ma.
I'm having significant shoulder issues, Ma. So it's hard for me to hold her.
Come on. Come on.
And then this one wants up.
It's a baby. All right, what are we talking?
Whatever Finn wants is what we're talking today. So I put topic as really the year in review and new year and kind of what does it all mean and whatever the hell we want to talk. So if you guys have any topics, please feel free to throw it on there and we will hit the topic, look it up, and make some comments on it as we feel. So please share those.
Thank you for stopping in, Sage.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
A woot, a woot.
Yeah, it is a baby.
But like we always do, I say we talk books first. I did mention Goodreads.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I have to not recommend the book that I've... Well, how do I word that for Satanic Testament? I finished it because I started Satanic Testament, but it's not really what I thought. There's a lot of good stuff in there, but some of the other books, like you've already shared with me, I'm reading by, is it Damien Ball?
Mm-hmm.
Damien Ball, are pretty good. They're not atheistic in the thing. I was looking for a theistic group.
They are atheistic, you mean?
I'm jumping all over. It's my ADHD. I was looking for a theistic group, which Satanic Thulian Society is, which is the book.
I don't know if anybody needs the clarification, but looking for a theistic group.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because when you say it, it sounds like an atheistic group.
Oh. Theistic is what I was looking for, and Satanic Thulian Society is one of those groups. The Satanic Testament was written by the leader of Satanic Thulian Society, but honestly, I found it to be very judgy, and some of the views I just didn't resonate with me. So overall, not for me.
Nope.
But what I like about the author, other than his group is atheistic,
It's atheistic.
it resonates more with me, but is about the revenge part, about not letting revenge and retribution consume your life. It's just not always worth the energy.
Yeah.
If it is, go for it. But he made a good point in that you also don't want to burn a bridge you might have to cross later. So don't be reckless with your retribution and revenge. Do it if you want to, but
there's a lot of really good things in that with the United Aspects of Satan, which is the Damien Balls that you were talking about earlier group. that we've really, or I've enjoyed. I shouldn't say we, that I enjoy because also a little judgy still with theism. Like
Yeah.
the thing that bothers me when people atheistics talk about theistics, often, not always, but often, there's a little tree sap, yay!
Little tree sap.
Often there's this idea or this thought of you must be stupid to believe in anything paranormal or deity or superstitious, supernatural. And you can feel that way, but calling it out that way just seems rude for no reason, right? And so Damien has great content. I really, really enjoy the philosophical content that he has. And then if it would just be like, but we're atheistic and that's our thing, that's our group, we're atheistic, that's fine. Which he does really well compared to some others.
Mm-hmm.
Although there's a little bit in there. Yeah. So maybe that's the topic we should... Well, before we get there, talk about theism and atheism again. I want to hit a couple of points on those because they can exist together.
They can. And the problem with the Satanic Testament is I almost felt like I was back in church.
Uh-huh.
And the part of theism that I like is what, you know, choosing to believe in deities, gods, goddesses, energies, spirits, all of it.
My work phone's ringing.
All of it. But that they describe aspects of things and characteristics of things in the world that we can't understand. And I just don't like anyone saying that somebody else is wrong. Right? To me, the left-hand path is about freedom and doing what the heck you want. It doesn't matter. If you like it or it works for you, then it's right. So I personally would not recommend the Satanic Testament, even though it did have some good stuff in there. Some good content. Oh, I'm going to have to add you, Kelvin, on Goodreads. So who I do like, that is a theistic person, is Alistair Nocht, and I've only read one book, so I've got a few more to read by him. I'm also reading the Kybalion, and next I'm going to be moving on to the Satanic Scriptures by Peter Gilmore. I don't think this is on. It's not on, so I'll show those later. So what about you guys? Do you have any books that you'd recommend on the left-hand path or spirituality overall? Yes. But I think it's good to have fellowship with other people too, even if you don't practice with them. And it's good to have support of others, you know, when you're going through shit, or not that you necessarily want to practice with them, but have some kind of community. Ma, what you think? Any good books? Any good books? No? Oh, cool. That's good. I always have, I don't know why, but I'm always reading a Dean Koontz book at night. That's good. I think fiction is good. Kind of to balance things out. It's definitely good. So do you guys have anything you do to practice for going into the new year? Any goals? I hate to say resolutions, but just things maybe that you want to focus on for the new year. I know we have the past week tried to eat a little bit better, a little bit healthier. We've tried to get out and exercise, and right now that means just walking around the neighborhood. After a few days, it definitely, I feel like it's more awareness. I won't say more energy, but just you feel a little bit better. Yeah. I know for me personally, this last week, it's usually crazy with all the energy around Christmas and New Year's being so close together. Um, but this year, it's been a little bit better. I think because we've kind of stayed home. I know for Christmas slash Yule, we rode our bikes, our motorcycles. We went a couple places local. And Christmas Day, we got Chinese food. So we didn't cook. We didn't do anything we didn't want to do. And it's been very relaxing. The urban primitive paganism in the concrete jungle. Ooh. I'll have to check that out. Calvin, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So anything, do you guys do anything special for New Year's? Like some people at midnight take a besom and sweep out the energy and open the door and welcome in the new year. I've never done that, but I might try it tonight. Paganism in the city. I think that would be a very good book. Interesting. Hey, Tabby. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in. Hey. Hey, Regs. Good morning. Happy New Year's Eve day. Aw. Good morning. Happy New Year's Eve day, Manny. Oh. Oh no. Sorry to hear that, Ziggy. I hope you're feeling better. Or hope you don't have too bad of symptoms. Sorry, I probably not should have put all that incense on. It's bad. Oh yeah, we've had some patients and staff come up with COVID. It's just unfortunately, I think it'll just keep coming back. Hopefully, not as bad as it had, 2 or 3 years ago. I had it again back in August for the second time. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That is wild. That is crazy. That's kind of cool though. That is wild. So for the new year, like I said, I don't really like to do resolutions. It seems like it just doesn't work, but like things to focus on for the next year. And I definitely do want to eat better and be healthier. I'm tired of feeling sluggish and just eating crap like fast food and ordering out and being inactive, and so I'll let Salann say when he comes back, but he's had a couple of health things so come up recently. So together we're just trying to eat better and be more active, but we're not going to punish ourselves or feel bad if we want to eat Chinese food one day or Italian food. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Even the date seems to say, "Hey, let's start fresh." And you don't have to make big changes. They can be gradual and little changes and modifications that we can do to feel better, be more successful. That when you achieve a couple smaller things, it's more encouraging, I think. I'll never go to a gym or anything like that, but I can exercise at home. Oh. I'm looking forward to fourth density. Ooh. We'll have to jump on later and tell me more about that, Regs. That is awesome. Yeah, I bet, Dragon. I'd like to quit vaping, but I'm glad I quit cigarettes really like 2.5 years ago. So it's definitely better than cigarettes, or at least I feel better. Still not good. Still putting something in your lungs that don't go there, but that is awesome.
I'm gonna be a while.
Oh, are you? Did you have any? Hold on, just a quick moment. Ooh, we'll be right back. Be right back. Come on, be right back, guys. Come on. Sorry. Okay. Thought I had a doggy getting out. Sorry. Just step down to the nicotine. Yeah. When I quit vaping, so I'm trying to step down on the nicotine. I think that's a good way, Regs. Like if we can gradually get down to 0 nicotine, and then do something else. There is something called Fume, and it uses essential oils, and you literally put a couple drops of essential oil on a little filter, and you get the taste of it, but without any nicotine. Get into more meat preparedness. Making my own jerky. Oh, cool. And canning. Oh, that would be awesome. Like to can jerky, meats, meat chips. I'd like to can vegetables too. I think that'd be neat if we could actually grow them. Grow them here. So what does the new year mean to each of you? Anything significant or anything spiritual that you relate to a new year? Anything crazy that happened in 2023? Luckily, to me, not a lot crazy happened this last year. It's just, it seems like kind of a long year and a short year all at the same time. Oh yeah, and there's different ways. We watched a few videos, probably this time last year, on canning and the different methods like boiling and different stuff. I'm sure there's a ton of ways, like a machine and stuff. And you got a canner, so maybe that's what that does. That's awesome, Dragon. January 20th, right, Kelvin? Well, I'm happy a couple things. Oh, here's a fume. I'll show you. It's no vapor or anything. It's just essential oil. They just need to be dried, and put in a jar. Ah. Well, today I am making black-eyed peas because it's something that, growing up in Texas, that my family did every New Year's. We eat black-eyed peas for good luck, so I'll be doing that today. Ah. Oh yeah, Manny, you did have a big one. You and Dragon both left Florida. It was a necessary change. I'm glad you guys seem so happy. Ah, little tree sap. Didn't know what I'm gonna do yet, but it's gonna be great. Yes. Oh, happy birthday. Greens and some pea. Ooh, yeah. Hey, Finny. I think so. I think traditions are good to have. If it's something that means that was important or something that your family did, chosen or blood family. I think it's also nice to start new traditions either on your own or with your spouse or kids. However, your modern family looks, I think traditions are nice. Oh, yeah, and cornbread, definitely. We've been doing a process since Christmas Day, and it's not anything we thought of, but actually was shared with us by Joy. And it's drawing cards for the augurs of things to look at for each month. So I think Brian actually, or Salann actually started a couple days before me. So he's on August. So basically, with the tarot deck, every day at a liminal time, like dusk or dawn, we meditate, light incense, light a couple candles, shuffle, and just ask, hey, what do we need to be aware of, work on, focus on, etc. for the year. So like the first day we did January, and then February, March, April, May, so on and so on. And I was like, well, that's kind of a cool a cool process to go through. I had never done before, so it's been pretty neat. Do you guys do anything like that spiritually going into the new year? Any tips? All right, Regs, I will definitely look to you for that. Clean the house like a mad woman, and I get on my toilet brush and the mop and afterwards, so I don't care. Oh, that's like literal. That's pretty freaking cool. Get rid of the toilet brush and the mop head. Don't carry any shit from the previous year to the new year. That's actually really good. Okay. That's awesome. So this year we've really tried to, like at our house, try to downsize things and really from a financial perspective to try to minimize debt and financial responsibilities. So we're down to one car now in the household. And when we started this year, we had three. So a few months ago, back in the summer, Salann sold his Supra, which he's still sad about. Last week, I sold our van and we paid off our Jeep. So we have a little used 2017 Jeep now. And it is a good feeling to be free of that debt, that responsibility. And just to know that going forward, when we get a second car, probably around the summertime, we're going to plan and do it smartly. And we're not going to have three freaking car payments at one time ever again. That was just dumb, whether we can afford it or not. Big cleanse and big clean. Another day. Yeah, I'm kind of there with you. Ah, that's a good one, Manny. That's kind of what we're doing. And I think it's a good one. It's a freedom when you plan and do it, smartly or with some thought. And we had to really downsize. But financial, that's a big one. My student loans start back up in May, so that's another reason we had to kind of downsize. I found out that a change coming for me really soon is I've been driving about an hour and 20 minutes for work, and that commute's going to be cut down to about 35 minutes the next couple of weeks. I'm being transferred to another building, so that'll be really nice. It is the year of the dragon. All right. Goals like stepping stones, so it's not such a big thing. I think that's nice. I'm trying to follow something similar to that dragon so it doesn't put all that pressure, at the beginning of the year and to set out the goals for the next year. Yeah. That's a good thing. Sorry, Salann had to take a work call, but he's back. So there's a lot of good things, a lot of good ideas and thoughts, whether you do or don't do anything for New Year's.
It's just not the same without me.
Well, yeah, that's true. But we were talking about like goals, and some of the things that came up were like financial or planning, like for getting a second car. And Mystic and them changes that happened. A couple of our community moved, like made big moves last year.
Yeah.
One to Washington and one to Wisconsin.
I'm gonna jump right in the middle. I've missed most of this.
Jump right in. I do my best to make goals, not resolutions.
No, you don't need me.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Please.
I'm good. Keep talking.
Yep, I'm good.
I actually was reading an article just a little bit ago that kind of made the comment that Kelvin just made, and that's what brought me to want to do that topic, because resolutions are things that you kind of want to resolve to do, and it's like for the year. What we really need to do, in my opinion, is make goals, like Kelvin said, right? We make a goal for this year to do X, Y, and Z, because that goal is just one step on many goals. But if you make resolutions, it's I'm resolved to do this one thing, like, balance this thing, or, I'm going to improve my spending habits. That's a goal. But if you treat it as a resolution, it's like you're going to get to it, right? I'm not a big fan of that. I think 2023 was actually a really good year. It was a year of a lot of changes, a lot of movement, a lot of energy shifting, a lot of all kinds of stuff happening. For me personally, it was a year of just constant growth, change, and movement. So 2024, I don't want movement. I don't want a whole new thing. I don't want to do all this stuff, right? Tabby, gotcha. Glad you're here, though. I don't want to say I don't want to grow in 2024, because that's going to continue. I want to continue informing my practice in 2024. That's my one goal, to continue informing my practice. And my practice in 2023 has morphed from let's do witchy things in the mundane world to let's be an entire enveloping being with all these things together, right? So my big lesson in 2023 was not to separate out my spiritual, which is now left-hand path, eclectic, pagan, psycho witch.
Sorcery. I'm just kidding.
But all that stuff, like, and not separate it from life. Like it's a daily thing now. Like it really is built into what we do. 2023 was the
it really is
learning of that. 2024 is the putting it in place.
Yeah. I think the left-hand path is what taught it. It's more about living that way. And like you said, then taking time out of your day to do spiritual or things related to your practice. And it's just like no, when you make decisions, you just call on that and do it every day.
My blood sugars are out of control. I finally got over my ego and said, you know what? I need help. I went to a doctor and I've got help. And guess what? I'm feeling better than I've ever felt because I'm doing it. But what did I do? I don't know if you even know. I think you know. The one thing that I did, I just randomly one morning before we went to work, I came in here and I sat down at our newest altar.
Yeah.
I lit all the candles. I did an offering and I pulled in some energies and said, I don't want the universe, the gods and goddesses, to help me be healthier. I want some guidance on how to find the path myself. And I am, again, feeling healthier than I've ever felt in a long time. But I also learned that I don't need to be part of a specific group to be engaged in a community.
That's what I was going to say, too. Yeah.
No offense to Cups, and I think we will eventually re-engage, I think, with the church and the UU, because I enjoy the community of it, but it's not my group. And that's okay. It just isn't my group, and I don't have to be the group or in the group way up to be a participant in it. That was probably the mistake. We did what we were supposed to do when it comes to Cups, right? We got in there, we worked together, we started it back up, we got the first year of stuff put together, and then, it didn't work out for me or you as we wanted it to, but that doesn't mean it was bad. It just, we did what we were supposed to do to get it up and running, and now we're out, and that's okay.
I think your Damien Ball put it in a nice way. You don't have to be part of a group for practice, but you still need some kind of community, and that just people that you can go have coffee with, or
do
something, just kava, or get together and do something social once in a while, just to be supported when you're going through rough shit. Not that you have to practice with them, but you know what I mean? He was able to articulate it better than I am, but you still need people once in a while.
Yeah. Out of all the books I've read, and again, let me be clear. I used to be like, I'm not Satanist. I'm not left-hand path. I'm adjacent. I am left-hand path. That is, philosophically, it fits. It's where I need to be. But the Satanic Bible has been an amazing book to give me some starting guidance. But what it did more than anything was help me delineate my thresholds, which side of each threshold I'm on, right? So then the Satanic Testament, I thought there's pieces that are great and pieces that are terrible. And so terrible that it informed my practice by letting me know where my thresholds are. So I'm not only use the rough sandpaper to get it down to a sheen, and then you use the thinner and thinner to get it to a polish. And that's what you do for your life. You polish your practice. You polish your life and your dailies and things that you do. Like my work life is way better now because I'm polishing my practice.
Oh, we will. Paranormal Witch, next time I come to Texas, I'll let you know.
Yes, we absolutely
I'll let you know, and then that would be awesome.
Especially with all the days I'm getting now.
Yeah,
we got it.
And there was, so to give specifics just about the things that didn't resonate with me in the Satanic Testament. Okay, if you're gonna put down any other group, period, whether I like the group or not, I'm already tuned out from you.
Yep. State your comment.
State your belief. That's fine, but I don't want to read pages and pages of putting down another group. Specifically in that book, repetitively, it was the Satanic Temple. It's like, you don't have to like them. You don't have to join them. But every group has their contributions that are made that are important.
It's gatekeeping.
Yeah. Humans, I agree, they do need community. And again, another point was I didn't like the views in that book about, for example, gay people or trans, that it was it's a choice and you have to own up to it, that it's just your choice to be trans or gay or to have abortion or whatever. It's like, okay, I don't think, and I'm not trans, but what I understand is those people literally feel they were born the wrong sex. So could you choose not to do that? Of course. But I don't see how you could feel as you were a whole person if you didn't do that. So how was that really a choice?
Like,
I don't like I'm attracted to guys. Could I not?
Note the plural there.
You know what I mean? I could not engage in a male-to-male relationship, but would I be whole? I would not be whole. So, yeah, I don't think that shit's so much a choice. And then,
well, the thing that kills me about that whole statement is we choose to act, and if satanically, in the satanic Tholian society, the idea is that we choose to act upon the things that make us happy, right? Then how can you immediately turn around and say, you have to be okay with who you already are, you can't make that change? That is completely against, to me, what the satanic philosophy is. I don't care what the reasoning is. No offense, but I could choose not to be with a male, but it would not change the fact of my attraction, what would have made me happy. That would be denying myself my soul, my what I'm growing and what I want to be. And I feel like it's similar for transsexual people. Again, I'm not, I don't know. But I feel like it would be the same, right? They, whatever the reason is, doesn't matter, first of all. If that's what anybody wants to do, that's what they should be able to do. Period, from a satanic perspective. I just don't understand why you would take... well, I know what he's saying. He's saying you have to be happy with what you were given and make it, and I'm just like, no. If I'm born with a 80-pound tumor on my left arm, I'm going to get it cut off. So if I am a trans woman and I feel like my penis is a tumor and it's not part of who I am, I would cut it off. And I should be okay with that.
And don't even get me started on the abortion thing. I think that's a topic that's an individual decision, and I just don't even want to. I don't think it's necessary to go there. And after years growing up as a Southern Baptist and guilt and feeling bad for who I am and controlled and I reject all that, and it's very empowering now. I just wish I hadn't wasted so many years.
Yeah, you just know not
life.
To waste any more, right?
Gosh,
that's the point where we are now.
For I think we can literally be living in hell, and I think it is up to us to make heaven on earth for us, and to be happy. Whether you believe in reincarnation or not, I'm not saying this is the only shot you got, but you might as well be happy while we're here in this time.
Whether it's the only shot or not, make it a good one.
Make it a good one. Why save up for heaven or hell that may or may not be there, literally?
There's a lot of differing opinions on whether humans can innately be good or bad.
Thank you, Regs.
But I do believe that ultimately it is other people that make people bad. Mm-hmm. There's somewhere in the cycle where I think people, if left to their own, and there's research both ways, but if people are left to their own, I don't think that they would hurt each other on purpose. And
not only was it Baptist, but I grew up in Texas, so at the time it was not friendly to gay people or anybody.
The Dragon Dancer's good point. Was it really a waste? How much did you learn and grow during those years? Again, that's informing your practice, right? So
that's true.
We would recommend reading books like the Satanic Temple Testament, although I don't, but we would, and I don't regret reading it because it's informed, it's really cemented what I do and don't agree with and why. But it also has caused me to look at things a little bit differently in some aspects, right?
You know what anytime somebody really downs a group over and over, like in that book we just read and I mentioned, what it makes them want to do is immediately go and make a donation to the group that is being put down. Because
I agree with that.
I think everything, even that I don't agree with Christianity, whatever, I think that every group has their own contributions in some way.
Oh, absolutely. And that's one of the things, like, reading with the United Aspects of Satan, which is that atheistic satanic group, very similar to TST, but there are some mild differences. What I like is that Damien Ball, who's one of the three authors in this and who is the founder, or at least one of the founders, there are a few spots where I'm like, probably didn't have to say it that way. That was a little aggressive. But in the most case, I got the feeling from those statements and from that book that he's like, look, you can believe whatever you want. You're not getting into my group because it's my group. But it doesn't mean you're wrong or you're bad. It just means that's not my group. And that is completely okay. And I like how he kind of had that behavior to it. Now, there's a couple of statements like, if you're superstition, believe in the paranormal, and there's no existing evidence for it, then you can't believe it. That's fact. And I'm like, there's certainly something, in my opinion, way bigger than us. We are more than the sum of our parts. I believe that wholly. And so I disagree with him wholly, but I don't feel like I should tell him he's an idiot for not believing it. And they kind of do. And that's the thing that I think you're mentioning with, it's really bad with SDS.
Really bad.
Really bad. With United Aspects of Satan, if you're an atheist, it might be a really good fit for you. Right. I really like their tone and how they talk about stuff. So even though I disagree with some bits and pieces of it, I would highly recommend you looking into United Aspects of Satan if you're interested in an atheistic satanic group, because it's just really nice. And I even like to join, you have to answer a whole bunch of questions, and then they decide if they're going to even give you a membership form, which is fine. I am doing the questions and working through them just to answer them for myself, just so that I can more understand what and how I think. Interesting point, and I know I'm totally taking over now.
Oh, you're fine.
But the other day I had a thought, and it was I've had it before, and it's kind of like the little car that won't start. The thought comes and goes, comes and goes, comes and goes, and now I'm stalling because it's gone again and hoping it comes back. But it finally it peaked in really. Oh, I got it. It really peaked in, and I'm like, what do I really believe? I've never asked myself what I believe. I've only said, I believe in this, I think this, and then I sat down and I said to myself, just while I'm reading, and this came from United Aspects of Satan, from their membership questions. What do you believe? Do you believe in, and I started asking myself these questions. Do you believe in blah, blah this? Do you believe in blah, blah that? And that really had a profound impact on what I do. And that was right before I came out as Left Hand Path. That's kind of where that came from, because I'd read it on their website. But I like working alone better. I also like being present in group settings and ritual. I do not like group rituals. Don't like them.
I agree.
I don't like them.
I don't either.
Tried it many, many times. Tried it for a couple years. Don't like it. But I would love to get together and even video one of our rituals sometime and share it and see what people think about it.
I like how Kelman worded it. I like to be around, alternative communities. I think that's nice.
100% agree with that.
But work alone?
Yeah.
Oh, fear and ego and separation is what causes humans to harm others. Yeah. I tell you one thing. I really was looking for some kind of theistic group, but the atheistic have had more that resonates with me than the theistic ones, except I like Alistair Noct, and I'll definitely read. I will read his stuff, but
I will tell you right now, theistic for me, the one that resonates the most, even though I have no knowledge about Egyptian, is the Temple of Set. Aquino and Don Webb. Don Webb, everything he says does to me when I read it,
he's pretty badass.
Right in.
Yeah, he's pretty badass.
I'm reading his version of Temple of Set before I get into Aquino's volume 1 and 2 over here. These are pretty big. So these are going to be starting for next year. I was trying to read the smaller books so I could get my Goodreads in, but I'm not going to make it.
I'm interested in learning more about Michael Aquino.
Yeah.
I think that would be interesting, and to learn something about the Egyptian pantheon.
Mm-hmm. And but theistic, atheistic, Egyptian, Welsh, whatever, it doesn't matter. In my personal view, when I ask myself, what do I believe? They're all, to me, my belief is they're all the same. I think the 72 demons are the same as this, in my opinion. They're the same energies as, maybe there's millions of demons and angels. They're all the same ethereal energy to me in some way, shape, or form. So there's a random person walking in the middle of the thing there.
Buddhism is kind of non-theistic. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And Dragon says to read a couple of kids' books.
I thought about it. I might do that just to hit
Run,
my 40.
Jane, run.
See,
Dick
Jane,
and
run.
Jane. Yeah, Dick and Jane and Spot.
Jack and Joanne up the hill. So that's really my thing. Like, that's what I'm really excited about in 2023.
I'm really wanting to read this Peter Gilmore book, though.
Yeah.
Especially after Kayla had said she liked it a lot.
That's next to mine, but I want to finish my Temple of Set one first, just because I love Don Webb.
He seems to get a lot of shit from certain people, and so that makes me want to read him.
Yeah. So that's really 2023, right? In a nutshell, for me, it has been massive amounts of change, growth, movement, adjustments, realizations, organizations of thought processes. And 2024 for me is more of that to me, plus reconfiguring community for me.
Well, that's a good way to describe it. Yeah. I felt more spiritual. I know we've talked about it in the past couple months than I have all year.
Yeah.
Just going, reading our books, the same or separate ones, talking about them, going to the freaking Kava bar, and just being around positive energy and people. If
you go to the Friday night podcast, oh gosh, the Apocrypha. Hey, Tina, hushy.
Come on, Tina.
Even with Apocrypha, it's become more doable for me. It's more, I'm not burnt out on it now that and it's not the show that I was feeling burnt out on. It was my understanding of what I wanted out of things. That's what changed, and that's what 2023 did. So it's really excited. Yes. So, Little Tree Sap, I kind of feel you there. Nosedive into sci-fi and fantasy. Oh, please do share. I need to catch back up. I'm on, I think, like the 7th book of Expanse. I love me some sci-fi fantasy space opera. I also love those roll of books. Have either of you read The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss? Anybody, not just either of you, but anybody read that is to date, one of my favorites. I don't know how to say her name properly, but Leah Bardugo is one of my favorite authors. I like to read. Shadow and Bone and a couple of other things were really good. I'm so glad to see that and hear that, Little Tree Sap. We recognized your absence there for a while, like just overall, and we're, everything happens and is, well, that's a lie. I don't think everything's for a reason, but everything has something that you can learn or grow from. Let's put it that way. It might not happen for a reason, but the response to it has a purpose. So I do believe that I'm reconditioning myself to stop saying everything has a reason, because it doesn't. I think every response has a purpose is a better idea. But health, I'm on that same thing this year. Like it just hit me again. If I don't get my health under control with what's going on with me, I might not make it even as far as my dad did until he passed this year. So I've really got to hyper focus on all those things. Yeah, Virgos really do have a hard time with their body being their temple and treating it the way it needs to be treated in order to grow. That's usually a big lesson for Virgos, and that's something I am deep in right now. Oh, Manny, I'm so glad to see that too. I think 2024 is going to be the year of just greatness. Like there's a growth in the air that has been coming about for a while. There's something, we've been talking about big things brewing, and they're going to get bigger and worse, but there's going to be just as much alternating, getting better. I think we're having so much difficulty in general, like hate and frustrations and people being jerks and assholes, because these
Witchy.
are the last dying vestiges of all the things that we have to get through before we get to the next level. My next serious book reading after these couple is going to be The Convoluted Universe, which I'm really excited about because Dolores Cannon, I've watched a ton of her videos. I just love how she talks, and she talks so much matter of fact about this stuff. She's like, well, yeah, the aliens came and they did it, and it's like, this lady has to be nuts. But when you listen to her, I'm like, this lady makes so much sense. Oh. So.
Oh, I like catching up on these comments about different
Dark is
books.
Before Dawn, yes. Regs, it's called How Not to Die. That's the name. Is that the name of the book?
How Not to Die. Oh.
Dragon Dancer. I didn't feel it last night, but I felt it this morning. Something crazy this morning was a big adjust push. I think we felt it yesterday at Kava a little bit, but something this morning just kind of flipped. Super excited about that. Oh, Tywin.
Oh, Tywin.
That's sad. Thank you. That's definitely going on the list. Back to, so don't forget it.
Yeah.
The Name of the Wind. I'm telling you guys. People like different books for sure, but it is. It was such a meaningful book for me at the right time, and I read it like before anybody even knew who he was. The Name of the Wind, and then The Wise Man's Fear. Just amazing. And I literally, it's been years since I've read him. I got to get him back out and read him again. I have a box set of his stuff.
Oh, I do.
Patrick Rothfuss. And then again, Leah, I always say it bad or wrong. It's Badrugo or Bardugo. I can't remember, but
Bartucci.
she has a lot of series of fantasy. I think he would like him. I don't know if you read fantasy at all. He's horror books right now.
I want to try some of these sci-fi fantasy books.
Take my Patrick Rothfuss and see if you like it. It's a book.
Sci-fi wizard books, Dungeons and Dragons.
I'm telling you.
Tell me a good one to start with.
Bardugo, thank you.
I want a sci-fi book to try. I need something different.
Our book, the book club thing, we got to start doing that again. We just stopped.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be occult books all the time. I think please share all kinds of stuff. But yeah, I'm going to add that to it. I will put How Not to Die on my list. I've been reading Leah Bardugo for a long time, but I stop and start the series. So right now I want to finish The Expanse.
I want a good sci-fi book.
So good.
For somebody who's never read it. Read one.
My first one, I think, was called 2042.
Ooh.
And we were in Florida when I read it. I was never into sci-fi books growing up.
Huh.
I read, it was Dean Koontz, Patterson, Stephen King. That's all I read ever.
Yep.
And then
Same.
in Florida at our apartment, our first apartment is where I read, I think it's called 2042. And it was amazing. And then Ready Player One. I love the book Ready Player One.
Ooh.
I have Dune.
I see a recommendation coming up.
Don't give too much. A little tree set, but
on.
I have the Dune series. I have not read it yet.
Dragon says the only good Indians. Okay.
Where's that at?
The only good Indians? Am I reading it right?
Yeah. So that would make sense. I got up at like 5 o'clock. You saw me posting about our show, and I'm like, that's when I was kind of getting this whole like,
ooh,
holy crap, things are kind of really pushing forward.
Okay, let me see. Dragon.
Regs 100% agree with that. Period of evolution awakening, knowing who and what we are and what that means, and so much more of the bigger. Yes, I 100% agree. It's one of the reasons why I think I learned so much from the situations that have happened in 2023 that were uncomfortable, because I shy away from those, and for the first time, I felt like I stayed true to my personal need, and stood my ground on something that I felt very important. It might not have even been the right thing to do, but just the act of doing it got me to a new place. And so things happen. No, they don't. They don't happen for a reason. Things do not happen for a reason, but our responses to them have a purpose.
Dragon, would it be the one by Stephen Graham Jones, Rhett R. Dinnerline, or Ronnie Fellows?
Probably the novel.
This one?
We'll just wait for her, though. We'll clarify.
Let's see.
You've got to.
Sci-fi and fantasy. It's probably this one by Stephen Graham Jones.
I don't know if you'd like the space opera ones, but they're really good.
Ooh, psychological horror and cutting social commentary.
Sounds good.
Okay.
But the King Killer Chronicles, that's still my favorite. No, Ziggy, I don't think you did.
Get it, Ziggy. No.
I want to know how to do a good reading group because we've tried. Now, all I can get in a reading group is just people sharing books that they've read. And we talk about what we read daily because we're reading similar stuff. Stephen Jones.
Stephen Jones. All right.
But I have so much trouble. I love that. That's kind of what we're doing, but we don't have any additional people yet. It's just us two.
I would like to try audiobooks. I love to read. However, it was a year and a half ago when I tried to do Audible. It was so disjointed. You couldn't just go in and order. You couldn't just go in and download. You had to order somewhere else, download it to separate thing. And what the hell is... Huh? You don't like audiobooks? But how the hell do you use Audible? Like when I tried it, it's like you go one place and download it and then you can't. So maybe I'm doing it wrong. I thought Audible would be an app. You go and buy your books, it downloads, and you just go in that app and play it. But that's not how it was. It's gotten better.
Like them.
Huh?
I don't think you'll like them.
Yeah, I really like the...
You know what my problem is?
Because the voice? Or...
No, it's as soon as I start playing it, I'm like, oh, this is really cool. And then within moments, my brain has gone to something else. I cannot pay attention. Just listening to it, I just can't.
So when you're actually like reading the words, it's better for you?
Yeah. Oh, when you like, to me,
I like smelling books too.
Here's the difference for me. When I hear an audio book, I hear their voices.
Yeah.
I hear what they think they're supposed to sound like, their inflections, and then I make their visions of what they see. But when I read a book, I make everything up in my head.
Yeah.
When I went and looked at The Expanse,
that's true.
The Expanse has a TV show which I love, and I want to see it. That'd be a great thing for us to buy if you can.
And Fallout's coming out with a TV show too.
We'll talk about that in a minute, but Expanse is a TV show on DVD. It's older, and when I opened it up and looked at it to buy it, I couldn't buy it because none of the characters look like what they're supposed to look like.
Oh.
It was the whole wrong cast. Like, Holden does not. I mean, they have him. It just was all wrong. It was all wrong. I couldn't do it. So I'm like, I can't watch this now until I finish all the books. So I like reading it in my head and creating that whole universe. That is alchemical to me, and it is magic to me. Full magic. Reading a book.
Hey, Joy.
Welcome in.
Happy New Year's Eve day.
Glad to see you stop in. Please, yes.
Thank you.
We're just talking about kind of how 2023 has thrown everything at us, and I think the best way to put it out of everything is really what Regs put up earlier, and that is I really think we are in a forward evolution. We are getting better every day. It's just we are seeing those dying breaths of the last dinosaurs of shit breathing out.
The Witcher series.
Oh, I played the game.
Not. That might be a good one, Calvin.
What is that game?
We are ascending.
Yes.
I'm gonna put it on my list with Dragon's recommendation of
Ascending Hurts. That's the thing.
The Only Good Indians, the Witcher series. I need some new kind of fiction. Need to get out of my Dean Koontz multi-decade phase.
I really want you to start my book.
Which one?
The Name of the Wind.
The Name of the Wind?
Uh-huh. See if you like it. Now, people are divided on it. Some people think it was a bestseller. Some people love it. Some people hate it. But I read it before anybody even knew what it was.
I might also like how do you say it?
Apocalyptic?
Books.
Post-apoc. Those are the best.
Or not? Do they have books about that?
Yep, most of them are young adult books.
Dark Night of the Soul. What's that? You have to change the outer planets, move into different houses.
Yes, Joy, I will tell you, from my perspective recently, the entire world in 2024 just feels less about change, of less about internal change and more about change in the world and the community and the stuff. I think 2023 was setting us up to be the best players on the chess field, and then 2024 feels like it's the chess field that's going to start moving. This is where we're going to start seeing the change and the plays and the things kind of all. Whew, these last couple of weeks have been phenomenal from a growth perspective.
We paid off the cars.
I have normal energy back after years. I think this is the best I felt, and all I needed to do was actually commit myself to going to the doctor and finally getting a diagnosis and getting things put in place and starting medicine, which I did not want to do, but it has made an absolute 10,000% for me.
Ooh, Hunger Games. Yeah, but I bet those are good books. Sure.
I think a lot of us did, Tree-Sap. Same thing. We were just talking about that. That is, there's some good stuff coming. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy and perfect all the way. Joy, I don't know if I'm doing it right, but as of 12/26, Rook and I both started daily drawings for the augurs. Would love to, when we're done, kind of compare what we've learned, what we do, because it's the first time I've ever done it. And still have to read the thing you shared
about the walk. Yeah. I'm gonna read that.
Very excited. I'm so excited about 2024. Just like to the point where if tomorrow, January 1st, 2024, we lost our house and everything in it and all the stuff, I feel like I would feel blessed to move forward. Like that's how it feels. And no, there's not drugs in our drinks.
No.
It's weird. Like I've never felt this excited for a new year.
Ooh. Dark Night of the Soul by St. John of the Cross. Or is that is that a series, Regs? Dark Night of the Soul? Ooh.
Yeah, we are pulling the Omen Days. I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm seeing things. I think the last 2 or 3 months of just dedicated, specific growth has been, again, phenomenal. Clarity and positive thoughts and movements. It's feeling really good. My first one, Dragon Dancer, was the devil. And I felt very fitting.
Dark Night of the Soul. I'm putting it on here, Regs.
Yeah.
No, it's just something that happened to people. Oh. There is actually a book series. So maybe you've led me to read this book series.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't believe in coincidence, so.
Yeah.
The
Dark Night of the Soul is the alchemical transformation of what the soul. Now, here's an interesting aspect I've been reading a lot about lately. How people feel like soul. Like there's a discussion when you hear people talking about the soul and stuff, that it is the soul is some reason we think it's the pure part of things. Right? The soul is the pure soul and spirit of you. It's not. And what I'm seeing and what I'm learning lately, it's got to learn stuff too. It's got to experience things. It is here to experience the humanness, and this is the only way it can get that experience, which I think is pretty cool.
Cool.
That is funny though.
She's led me to a book series.
You didn't want to read my books. That's okay.
I am. You didn't tell me which ones. Name of the Wind. Let me put it down. I don't think I wrote it down. Let me put it down.
Spend part of every month in a yurt tent in the woods.
Oh,
I like
cool.
that idea.
Name of the Wind.
Yeah. Acceptance and forgiveness is some pretty big shit.
Now let me look up Name of the Wind and see what it's about.
I'll tell you all about it if you want. I have it back there.
Ooh, W-Y-N-D, right?
No.
Oh, no.
Right there.
This one. Rufus
Patrick
Hughes.
Rothfuss. I love that goal too. I can't get him in a tent though.
I'm a little indoorsy. I'd do a camper. Or a cabin.
It's almost card time. Any other thoughts on that topic while we get our charcoal going for switching over to cards?
Get it, girl.
You can't. One of the other things too that I think we know but bears to be said. Reading alone is not a way to do anything. You have to couple it with changes and improvements and things that you do and growth and action and practice. Reading alone doesn't get you to where it is you probably want to be.
Paper,
yes, we need paper.
Let me go get something to write down this.
So you will get a general read unless you otherwise say so.
Oh my god, my foot keeps falling asleep.
But we will be doing tarot. I'm going to do it a little bit different though.
Well, look at all these books that I have. These are magical.
Da-dum-dum-dum. I am so glad you made it too, little tree sap. Regardless of making it or not, we are glad you come and share your thoughts with us when you can, and that's all that matters. You do what you can when you can, right? So, but thank you for stopping in, for sure. So I think I'm going to use my Prisma Visions today.
I think I'm going to use the Cirque du Tarot. Hold on, let me get it.
The Prisma Visions Tarot is actually by James R. Eads, E-A-D-S. It is one of my favorite and go-to decks for personal use. UFO of God. I'll have to check that out. Absolutely. Yeah, we pulled today for June. The card I pulled today was 8 of Swords, I believe. So far, my 6 cards that I pulled is the Devil, High Priestess, no, Devil, Emperor, High Priestess. Here, I can't remember the 4th card or the 5th card off the top of my head. And then the 8 of Swords. I think 9 of Wands and then 8 of Swords. But once I hit them all, I'm going to post them. I know a couple of other people are also pulling. And everybody kind of agreed to we'll post once we're done and kind of share notes.
Okay, so I had Calvin. Anybody else?
Pain in my shoulder is driving me bonkers.
One card.
And let me just also say for everybody,
Calvin.
you see where we are, right? I'm going to back out a little bit.
Dragon.
So you can kind of see the whole room. We have plenty of seats at the table. If you're local, you should come by and join us on the show someday. You got to let us know at the time, though. But yeah.
UFO of God. Ooh, that sounds good. Joy. Regs.
But yes, we have plenty of room. And this isn't even completely backed out.
Ooh, I'm going to use this. Cirque du Tarot.
Cirque du Tarot.
All right.
I have a new set of minimalist runic tarot that I really want to try out, which I might take with me today to the Kava place. But we want to be back home before New Year's because the dogs have a really hard time, and we want to be here with them while they're, all the stuff's happening. So
we'll see how this goes.
That's kind of our New Year's plan. It's fine. But anyway, let's go ahead and we have our tarot cast back up. So it's a little bit different though. It's upside down, I think.
So let's see how we.
So let's transition.
Can't tell if it's.
Back it up a little bit, other way. Keep it between the rocks. There you go. So
I can't tell if it's upside down.
That's correct.
So you put it upside down.
No, you're right. You're upside down, but it's right for the way you just did.
I've not used this stick before, so we'll see.
So far we have. I can't read your handwriting.
Kelvin, Dragon, Ziggy. Oh God, I can't even read it. Kelvin. Oh, Kelvin, Dragon, Ziggy, Joy, Regs, and Tabby. Kelvin's first.
Kelvin is first.
Did I put Dragon? Yeah, I did. Dragon. Did I miss anybody? So Kelvin. God, I can hardly read these. This may not work too good with the stick.
I'm sorry. Not really. They're pretty.
They are really pretty. Oh, we'll see.
The deck that I'm using is the Prism of Visions.
Mystic.
Again, it's a James R. Eads. He's got 3 major tarot decks and then quite a few Lenormand decks. You have the Cosmovisions, the Prismavisions, and the Light Seers. And what's cool about them is their minor arcana can be laid out from 1 through the King, and you see a whole entire picture all the way through. It's absolutely gorgeous. I might take this in the book to Kava and see if anybody wants a reading when we go out. I don't charge for any readings. By the way, if anybody wants a full, complete personal reading, I do them for free. You just have to send me a message on Discord, and we set up a time, and then I will deliver it one of 2 ways. Either we get on Discord together and I walk through it, or I record it and send you a video. Either way is fine.
So we're doing Mr. Kelvin.
Mr. Kelvin.
Ooh, let's get some cleansing. I need a cleansing.
And we are using, Joy, this is a mix of all... At least leave the lid off. We'll need more. This is the mix of all of the things we made this year. All the different herbs and blends that we did in 2023. This is the leftovers... Good job. This is the leftovers of that. So it's really exciting there too. It smells divine. So we can... All right. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna make sure we're not getting in trouble yet. Okay, good. Yes. I do full readings. Usually the Celtic Cross. But I can do our own reading, which we call the palm reading, the palm tree. Remember, we made that one. We still do that. Cool. So whatever works. It is amazing. I'm telling you, like it fits. I don't know how or why. Kelvin, you got a jumper here, so let's go with it. 6 of Chalices. Perfect. Hold on, I gotta click this out here. So the 6 of Chalices, this is our water card, right? And we're right smack in the middle of the emotional gamut of change of things that are happening. So the 6 of Chalices is really kind of like you're in the thick of things. There's something emotionally going on. It's not bad. So it's not good. But you're in the middle of it and you're having a response to it. And the 6 is just saying, it's fine to have this response. It's fine to be in this thing where you have your feelings and you allow yourself to have the feelings. Don't feel guilty about what you're thinking. Don't feel guilty about how you're feeling. Just let it go through, work through the emotion, but don't live in the emotion. Most of the time, the 6s are kind of coming out of a bad spot, except for in the swords, a little bit different there, but in general, the 6s are talking about coming out of a difficult situation. It's still difficult, but it's getting a little bit better. And we get wrapped up in the emotion of it, and sometimes that delays our movement forward. So make sure that whatever you're feeling or working through, that you allow yourself to fully experience the emotion, whether it's joy, and you're saying, I don't deserve to be happy. You do, and you should let joy happen. If it's sadness, and you're like, I'm tired of being sad. It's okay. We're allowed to be sad. It's an important emotion. Get through it, and then don't live there. So that's the message of a 6 of chalices.
All right. I pulled the world. The curtain is about to fall, and an end coming to maybe something big that you've been going through. Don't get if it's a positive, negative, but that just means something's coming to a conclusion or an end. It's time to take your bow. The reason I'm using these words is I'm doing under the big top Cirque de Tarot. So it's time to take a bow, a final bow on a certain aspect, project, or circumstance, and get ready for something new.
Yeah. Coupling that with my card, it might even mean maybe you're hanging on to something a little bit too long emotionally, and that's keeping you from taking the next step. So be kind of careful of that.
But that's a neat card to get at the end of the year, the last day of the year. Hopefully, it's something that you're ready to be done with.
By the way I have it set up, you can lay them out all the way across. So we can leave both cards
all the way this way?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Next time I'll leave yours and just put mine here.
Yep.
That's a good point. The show must go on. Yeah.
The show must go on. But you are allowed to feel the feelings that go along with it. They don't make you weak. That's the thing that usually comes up. Like, you're allowed to feel the feelings. And then the show must go on.
It may just be that it's time to let something go. All right.
Dragon dancer.
I want to be a dragon dancer.
I don't know where that came from. What is that?
My little sister used to do dance, and it was the song in her dance recital year after year after year. And it was called I Want to Be a Video Dancer.
Oh, video dancer. That's where I knew it from.
YouTube it. Maybe it's on there.
Not live, because they'll probably get us demonetized.
That's true. Let's see. I need to clean this card.
By the way, we're not monetized as it is, but I'm just saying.
We're on
we don't want to be
Lady
muted.
Dragon. Lady Dragon.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sire.
So smells so good.
No.
All
right, Mr. Dragon. You're welcome, Pagan.
Schwedenfragen.
See, Dragon. What does she need to hear?
So if anybody's interested, just to say it, when I am doing tarot for anybody, one of the things that I generally do is I will stop and pause for a moment, because as I'm shuffling and going through it, I'm thinking about connecting with the person that we're reading for. I have a very neat visual for it. It's literally a spider web that I pluck the string of, and that string vibrates up to this big disco ball of souls in the world, and then it attaches kind of like a phone line to that other person, and then it vibrates that phone, web down to them. That's the visual that I tend to use to try to make a connection.
I want to see their circus words for this.
It's pretty.
It is very pretty.
Oh, that's a good one.
And there's no circus words for it, but all right. That's pretty. Both of these cards are pretty. Get it in? Yeah.
Oh. I mean, that's fine. Just, yeah, that's fine. So the Ten of Wands, Dragon Dancer, is the first thing that comes up. So this is the completion era of a part of a cycle. And generally, it's related to things that you have created or moved forward on or made action on. So my thought kind of at the end of 2023 is that you have manifested and kind of created all of the things to be in the place where they need to be for you to move forward. It's going to be very interesting. I think, I might even pull a clarifier on this one, but it really is speaking to the fact of getting the things together and put together that are going to set you up for future endeavors. Because, right, the 1 through 10 or the ace through 10, just because you're at the 10 doesn't mean that it stops. Like the 10 of wands turns back around into the 1 again, but on a new level, a new thing, a new project. So this is just saying that there's a setup process that's been done to secure moving forward. So 2024 is really going to have some good things for you because all these things were done in the right way to set you up for the 10 of Wands to really revel in all of the creation that you've done. The 10 of Wands also comes up a lot when there is a very successful transition from a parenting aspect, because obviously creation, what human beings create, among many things, is other human beings. And the 10 of Wands speaks to the positive movement into a new era of progeny, a new era of creation, in many different aspects. So I think in this case, your 10 of Wands is really saying, whatever it is you're doing for your creative processes and your thing that's going to cause continued movement forward is exactly where it's supposed to be. So great job with setting that up.
And I pulled, and I hope you can see these cards. I think they're really pretty. The Hermit, and it's just darkness, and it's all about no matter what's going on, you have enough light just to see the next step. You don't need to be worried about after that, months ahead, but just focus on what you know to be your next step.
Yeah.
Don't get overwhelmed. Oh yeah, Tabby, we'd love to have you come down here. But it's just about the next step. You have just enough light to illuminate the next step, 1 foot in front of the other. It's not about a year's time span. It's just whatever it is right now. What's your next step? Just focus on that. It's about the calm time of the year and the next step. Just enough light to see that. Let me get these out. I hope they can see them. These are both pretty cards.
Yeah, how does the image look when you guys are seeing it? Is it visual? Is it a good, at least decent quality? You can see exactly what it is. We did, again, some changes to how everything is set up. It may not look much different, but a lot of the back stuff has been changed. So make sure that's working for you.
This is for Ziggy.
Ziggy, Ziggy, Ziggy. Can't you see?
When she's on the swing, she hypnotized me. It's really neat. I like watching her spin. The next step. Ziggy. I like watching you spin, Ziggy. That's been really cool.
Ziggy starting with the Wheel of Fortune.
Wow.
What better card can you have in 2024?
Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune can be seen in a couple of different ways. A lot of people look at, it's good luck, or it could be maybe something good, something bad. It's just, it is what it is. There's not really a lot of luck in your way. At this moment in time, though, pulling the Wheel of Fortune really does speak to a positive motion, a fortunate thing that is going to continue for you. I think 2024 is going to be a very good year for Miss Ziggy. Not only because of the Wheel of Fortune, but just because the energy that surrounds it comes in such a way that you can spin it more than once, right? If you spin the Wheel of Fortune and you get something you're not really happy with, you have to go through it. You still can do it again. You spin that wheel again and you keep moving through it. So the universe is setting up some pretty positive, some pretty cool things, I think, that are going to be helpful to you in the future. and run through 2024. So super excited about that. Dogs completely agree that you deserve the Wheel of Fortune's good energy that's coming. They're all talking. All of them are talking.
I was looking for any circusy words, but it's not telling me circusy words. So.
I love the Wheel of Fortune. It's a great card. I like where it is in the Major Arcana. It's kind of in the middle. And so it just means, you know, there's that continued forward motion too.
All right. So I pulled the Page of Pentacles. And it's a really cool card. It shows somebody putting on makeup, getting ready for the show. And to me, it's coming through that, you know, you're getting ready to start or continue a fairly new journey that will be successful and might have a little, or have had a little bit of a rough start. But you're getting ready, you're preparing, and about to embark on something new.
Woot woot.
I really like these cards. I like the circus theme. All right. Next we have Miss Joy.
Miss Joy. Let's get a card and see what's coming.
Oh, but I'm turning these backwards somehow. Miss Joy. I'm trying to
Glad to hear it. I mean, I seriously think the Wheel of Fortune's bringing you some good things. Like, only because you're making it that way. You're putting out the things that are necessary to get what you deserve, which is amazing things, because that's what you deserve.
Huh.
Miss Joy. One more shuffling feeling. Queen of Swords.
Oh, she's pretty.
Joy, your first card is Queen of Swords. This means queen of all of the right decisions made. So whatever things that you have set up for yourself in 2024, you are on exactly the path that you have chosen, which is exactly the path the queen says she must take. Just like we say, the queen always arrives, never a minute early, never a minute late.
When she's supposed to.
So the Queen of Swords is all about that knowledge. It's set. This is how it's supposed to be, and it's the right thing, and it's the right path, and it's the right way for you to move forward. So everything up into what you've been doing and working through has got you exactly where you were supposed to be, even though it's probably not exactly where you thought you would be. One of the things about the Queen of Swords is she really gives an energy of decisiveness, of exactness. But unlike the king, who sometimes trims a little too much, the queen has been very smart about leaving enough of that extra on there to really grow into the process and really be into the thing that creates good life, good things, good memories. So the Queen of Swords is not the cold queen, even though it's snowy, that is so exacting that it's just cold. She knows how much extra to leave, just enough that we're making the right decisions and doing the right thing at the right time. So things have been set up for you also very well, but the difference is this time, this is all choice. You know exactly where you are, what you're doing, why, how. It's all lined up, and it feels good. Even though, again, it's not exactly where you thought you would be at this point. So, love me some Queen of Swords. She can seem cold to a lot of people, but they just have to realize that that sword that cuts both ways and trims can also help prune for new growth, right? And that's kind of the goal.
All right. This is a pretty one too. I pulled the Ace of Cups. And it's kind of, the cup is overflowing in front of the tent, the big top tent. To me, this is talking about something new, something different from a nurturing or an emotional standpoint. And the cup is full, and it's saying, you know, why not consider taking the leap, whatever that is, whatever that leap is. You can also not. You can do something else. You can ignore the opportunity or the different thing. But it's telling me, take the leap and make a splash, and make a big one if you want to. You might be pleasantly surprised.
I like that. Make a splash.
Make a splash. Yeah. Jump in.
I mean, it's true.
That's pretty. Sorry, I've got a tingle again. All right. I like these circus cards. They're kind of cool.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I like yours too.
Me too, but hurry up.
I will hurry. Next, we are on to Regs. Sorry. Regs.
Riggs. Using a little bit of pinyon pine. Yes, this is personal one. Good. I'm glad you guys can see it. Everybody has a lot to say. Dog-wise, that is.
Sorry. I tried to hurry. It's Regs.
Regs.
Thank you, Regs.
The Knight of Wands. Wands.
I cannot say that word. Staves.
Staves.
Call it rods.
Roads.
I like rods.
The Knight of Wands. We're back in the realm. A lot of fire cards today. We're back in the realm of that creative fire, and the Knight of Wands is that male essence. Doesn't mean it's a male person, but the male essence or masculine essence of energy of creation. This is a full-on gung-ho, fired up, let's do this kind of energy. So there's either something that you are pulling into that's really pulling your own masculine energy into something, meaning a project that just has to get done and you're really into this creative aspect of something that really needs to be pushed forward. Or somebody in your life is bringing in a masculine energy that you need to kind of go to the next level of something that you're working through. So it's really about that whole I hate saying entry level, but like not quite. It's not the knight's not the king, right? So not quite up there, but he's also not the page, not the first step into it. This is somebody who's got some energy, got some knowledge, got some things, and they're starting to work through it and practice it. Going to mess up a few times, but prepared overall, just needing to gain and gather that experience and share it. So this Knight of Wands is really bringing in that creative spark energy into what's you're coming about and what's pushing forward for you. I would say it's a lot of it's spark energy, but it's controlled spark energy. It's known or not. What is the word? Gnostic spark energy, meaning it's not just randomly pulled. It's controlled. It's understood, and it's put in a direction that makes sense for you. So that is what the Knight of Wands is speaking.
All right, and I pulled the 5 of Swords.
My petite agrees.
And so, obviously, the goal of the... Oh, I didn't know you were giving it to me. Of the 5 of Swords is he doesn't want to hit the target, right? The skill is he's throwing the knives, the swords, to have excitement, anticipation, but he doesn't want to hit or hurt the participant, who is the model, if you will. So to me, this is about, with your mind, maturity, and thought process, to use that and cunning to hit your mark on that level, but not to harm or injure or wound others. There may be a situation that comes up where you're going to have to use that intellect, intuition, and the power of your mind to say, no, I know what's right. This is what I'm doing. Maybe not necessarily to set somebody straight or prove them wrong, but the whole goal is to miss your mark. You don't want to wound the person. You want to use your mind through this situation to find an answer or to find a resolution.
I like it.
I like it. Tatam Banisha and Tata Saquisha. All right. Now we're to Tabby.
I love benzoin of styrax. It's my favorite incense.
Yeah.
You smell it? It's got like this sweet charcoal flavor. Scent.
Yeah, it does smell good.
Hope that gives you some insight.
Welcome.
Tabby? Let's see what we get.
Does Tabby need to know?
Styrax smells better as it gets burnt.
It really does.
My shoulder is killing me. Oof.
It does smell really nice.
It's my favorite.
Tabby.
Three of Wands,
Oh,
Tabby.
interesting.
So this Three of Wands is, again, cyclically the more beginning of a creative project. So there's something I would assume you're thinking about or that you've recently started from a creative aspect, and you're kind of thinking, I don't know if I should keep doing this, or maybe you're thinking like it's not going the way I want it to, or it just doesn't feel exactly right. So the Three of Wands comes up to kind of tell you, it's like, it's okay to revise and to pause a minute until you kind of go to that next level or the next step. That's perfectly okay. So the Three of Wands is really a reminder that you can revise projects throughout them. You don't have to stay on the track that you started on. Maybe you thought you were going to do X, and instead as you're doing it, you're like, oh, that just doesn't feel right. Maybe I need to switch over to something different. Maybe even a different medium to a creative project, or a different department at work, or a different color of something you're painting. I don't know. But regardless, the Three of Wands says, stop, take a peek, give it a minute, and revise it. And change whatever that project is you're working on, if that's what you feel like you need to do. And if you take a minute, you stop, you look at it, and you like it, then leave it alone. It's fine. You can go both ways on it, because regardless of what you do, your creation is your creation. And that creative outlet is very important. So continue with that.
And I pulled the Ace of Wands, and quite simply, just do it. It's time to take that first step on something new. You've had a new idea, been thinking about it, maybe an old one that's been back there, and you're thinking, should I do it? Whatever it is, take that torch and start it. Go for it. Do it. It's a yes. Yes, Miss Joy.
Abso-freaking
Interesting. We both pulled the wands.
We pulled a wands. So lots of fire kind of going in this process for you.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Yes. And now we're on Mystic. Oh. Mystic Mini.
Just another Mystic Mini.
But there's only one. And I met him. Only one. So our Mystic Mini, then Sage, then Lauren. Okay. I understand. It's the beer.
Mm-hmm.
It's the cataracts.
I forgot I'm not supposed to drink them. I'm gonna die.
No. You
Not
don't
really.
say that.
All right, Manny. What do we got for you, my friend? The world.
Oh, cool.
2024
Somebody else got
is
the
your
world.
oyster.
I think it was Kelvin.
If you like oysters. You may not like oysters, but you still get the world. So the world is that culmination of all of the hard work and energy of something that's going to really, yes, that's really going to help you grow into something in what you're doing. So this is a very, very good portent of a positive nature that says a lot of things that have been kind of up in the air are going to come to a conclusion or a closure. So the world shows up for me anytime there's closure or that our expectations are met, that our joys and the things that we want to do are getting done and that we feel good about them. So if your current concern, which we kind of know you've talked about a lot, has been health related, then the world is saying your health related issues are going to come to a sense of management, a sense of we've got this, we've got it covered. If it's related to like your move or finding a special place and things like that, then the world is saying you've done the right thing. This is where you're supposed to be. We're good. Let's go forward now to the next thing. So the world not only means that things are culminating and coming together and they're going to have resolution, it also means that it's resolution and ready for you to go to the next level. Because when the full comes up next in your cycle, then you're the fool, but now with all this additional knowledge and information. So now you get to go do the run through the major arcana in a much more effective and knowledgeable way. So that is the best card to me to pull for a end of the year, beginning of the year project, and I will be right back.
Yes. And whatever, you've been doing a good job, excuse me, incense and vape. You've been, oh, it scared me. No, guys. Hey, it's okay. You've been doing a great job of keeping things going, moving, and flowing. You don't have to do without things necessarily to be right, to be balanced. You're doing it. Just keep it up into 2024, whether it's health or whether it's whatever it is, whether it's finances to plan for that new car. Just keep the temperance. Keep it actively flowing. Keep it balanced. To major arcana, the world and temperance. All right. Salann is coming back. There's your card.
You're welcome, thank you. I know you guys can't see it now because you have the small, but thanks to Dragon Dancer for the table, which is at its smallest level. We can actually expand it much bigger. We have a whole room you can come and a library of books for you to come over and hang out. So if you're in the area, you should come hang out.
We are on Sage Rainbow. And then we will do Lauren, Lady Lauren.
So to make sure we're still on White Bat Audio. So on YouTube, the music we play is White Bat Audio, by the way. It is copyright free and usable and does not require a strike. So.
Abusadoro.
He has no clue what any of that means.
I know what abusadoro is. Abusadoro.
At least I know how to say wands.
Salann is abusadoro.
Let me get this shovel hot.
It's not bad. It just means bossy, demanding.
Okay, fair. Goes along with the leather harness that I got, right?
Oh, yeah. Witchy. Need to put that on.
I did.
Oh, you did? When?
None of your business.
I've not seen it.
So what are we doing? Sage rainbow?
Yes. Sage rainbow.
All right, I got to connect.
Yes. Let's see. What does Sage Rainbow need to know?
The Hierophant.
Ooh, cool.
All right, so the Hierophant generally represents in and of itself kind of this dogmatic, specific, Gnostic type of spiritual teaching, right? So this would be things that are supposedly known or formalized that's not necessarily New Age or awakening or process movement. So this is really speaking to a need for you to kind of look at the things that you've been learning and see how you're going to kind of merge them into your practice or your life or whatever it is you do. So my guess would be right now that there's a little bit of a disconnect between the things that you have learned and that you know or believe, right? Your belief thoughts, your belief system, and the things that you are doing on a daily basis and the things that you feel like you should practice. So the Hierophant is a call to kind of start merging those things together. Almost like when I started talking earlier today about asking yourself, what do I believe? What is it that I need to know? And then going on the quest to find those things. That's what the Hierophant does. He teaches those things. The Hierophant can teach things that are different to everybody. But in this particular case, it's usually about things that are tried and true, repetitive, and have kind of done. So you need to really go through that whole merging those two pieces together and doing so through experience, through, yes, learning from the Hierophant or having different teachers in your life, but then applying that to what your belief system is and seeing how it works. I've done this a lot this year, kind of just pulling in these new things, and it's funny. It's like putting a new lens on, right? So I have my belief system and it's in full color. And then I'm like, okay, well, let me see how this one looks. So I put the red on. I'm like, ugh. No, don't like it. Take the red off. Put the blue on. Okay, this makes sense. I understand this. It works for me. So now I'm going to put the blue into this, and now my world has a little bit more blue in it. That's kind of the process of the Hierophant. A little more color based on what it is that you're looking for.
All right. I drew the 9 of Wands, so can't say that word. Wands.
There you go.
9 of Wands. So
just remember, wands. There you go.
You may have been through something, and you don't realize how draining it was.
You're judging me.
So the performers shown on this card have just finished. They're ready to take their final bow. Their smoke that you can still see from their performance. It shows like a lion, and they're done. They made it through. It was gruesome. It was rough. It took a lot of energy. It was draining, but they're done. And this is telling me they've got to rest before just going on to the next thing or the next show. And that may be to you. You may have been through something, or works may have been rough, but you gotta take a little bit of time to rest before you go through, or you're just gonna keep feeling drained, and that feeling of being tired or spent will not go away. So take a little rest. That's what they're telling me.
Mm-hmm. Always be willing to rest.
Take a little bit of rest. And you may not even know how much it took out of you. But universe said it did. So it's time to recoup.
Thank you, sir. Hope that gave you some guidance. Who's next?
Next we have Lauren.
All right, Lauren. Let's pull some cards. That's CAHDS. Some cards. For Lauren. All right. Thank you.
I'm gonna pinch them nips.
You can't even find them with the lights on.
Go put on the harness. I bet I can.
No, you'll be too worried about the leather. I love the smell of leather.
I do too, actually. What does Lady Lauren need to know?
Leather, I should say.
Good. Be cruelty free, please.
You know, it's funny too. I was just thinking about where I'm going to move the lamp that we got from Lauren.
Yeah, the moss one.
That's the mushrooms and the moss lamp, because we've done a lot of stuff and we got a new hanger for it. So I was literally just looking at it about 30 or 40 minutes ago before you asked anything. Joy said, I wonder what she's been doing lately. Because that is one of my favorite lighting pieces that we have.
Oh my God, it's
We just
amazing.
need to hang it in another place.
We need to rehang it. Yes.
Oh, and Joy, for the record, Mr. and Mrs. Green Man and Green Woman have become so incredibly outlined. Like immediately,
That's
you see all of it.
crazy.
It's he was hidden for a while. He is not hidden anymore.
You can see
She's-
their eyes, their eyebrows,
Yeah.
their nose, their eyelashes.
She's still sticking out a little more.
Yeah.
But he's not hiding anymore. They're both in full form. So that
That's
is
so
one of the other
cool.
reasons I think 2024 is really going to be great for us. But back to Lauren.
Yes.
Sorry. I got excited. Synchronicity. There it is. Let's see what it is. Ace of Chalices.
Oh, that's a pretty card
So you pulled that for somebody earlier. The Ace of Cups.
for Joy.
For Joy? Did you really?
It was for Joy.
That's too funny. So now,
It was for Joy.
yeah, so now we have the Ace of Chalices for Lauren. And the Ace of Chalices, like Rook said before, this is the raw energy of everything that is cups, that is water, that is the area of the West, our ancestors. So this is bringing in all of that raw energy, but it's not unbridled energy. It's just the base energy. It can be molded into anything.
Figures.
Yeah, it can be molded into anything that it is that it wants to be. So the Ace of Chalices shows up for me when somebody's feeling a little bit haphazard. Just there's a lot going on too much, right? There's all this energy that's coming at somebody, well, Lauren, and there's a moment where I was like, it's okay to just let it all come in and set for a second. Just be like, there's so much happening. I don't know how to feel about everything that's going on, but I do know that there's going to be a good side to this, which means that raw energy of the chalices is opportunity to really bring in some positive thinking and some positive motion in a direction. So to me, there's going to be a lot of really good forward movement in the realm of bringing in ancestors and moving forward into something new in a very solid way. This is a very good feel good about what's going on, but there's just maybe a feeling of too much, or not too much. I shouldn't say too much. A feeling of a lot
Baby.
of emotional energy, a lot of things coming in and kind of coming all around, but it's all perfectly fine. It's all perfectly okay, because that Ace of Chalices really is, I'm capable. I have it all. I'm able to deal with it all. I can move forward with it. So I think there's a lot of really good driving energy from the West for Lauren at this point with the Ace of Chalices. And there's obviously some synchronicity between the two of you and the direction that you guys will be going together, maybe spending more time together in this way, and maybe having a little bit more connection than previously or recently done.
Well, bless you. I drew one of my favorite cards, which is the Nine of Pentacles. Hard work paying off. Like in the circus world, it could mean like, wow, I finally got that lead part, or I'm center stage. And there is nothing wrong with that. It is time to sit back, whether vocally or quietly, just look at and be proud of all the hard work and accomplishments you have obtained. The hard work is paying off. It's success. And however you choose to celebrate, do it, and that is the right way. I love that card.
Mm-hmm.
Nine of Pentacles. So that's a good thing.
I'm all about the Pentacles.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, Miss Petite. my leg. Now mine's doing what yours does. Keeps falling asleep with Petite.
Aw, she's worth it though. I hope that gives some insight.
She's a worky baby.
Yeah, there's something about the synchronicities between the two of you that's going to become more apparent. I don't know if that just means a artistic connection, working together remotely, that kind of stuff. But there's something there.
Really cool.
Yeah. Not surprising though.
That's a left hand, right hand path it up.
Absolutely.
Later.
Rex.
Oh, sweet.
Please feel free.
Yeah, Regs.
Yeah.
I like
so
to hear it.
I hope everybody enjoyed the tarot.
My Petite.
You can move the soap, by the way, and
I
slide
like
the other
soap.
way.
It resonates with me.
Yeah, there's lots of really positive things, and I think universe is recognizing, as it should or wants to do, that we humans need we need a pat on the back, a reminder that we're kind of doing things as best we can despite all the things around us. So I'm really excited about that.
There's got to be some pats sometimes, or.
And I feel like that. I feel like that's part of the energy that's kind of coming about us. So super exciting.
Woo-hoo! Happy New Year's Eve.
Guys, Happy New Year's Eve.
Thank you for hanging out today.
We love spending our afternoon with you.
Be safe.
Yes, you'll want to be safe. Please be careful. This is the new year is just, it's a time of drunken glory in many places.
But do it at home. We want to see you all around this year.
If you are doing anything with people and going out with people, please be safe, be careful, have a designated driver.
And don't ride it with anybody else that's been drinking either.
Correct.
Piss them off. Who cares?
Look, I'll share a quick story with you guys. A good friend of mine who I spent a lot of time with, who we're not really close at all anymore. We lost a friendship over drinking. Because I refused to give him my keys. His keys, I'm sorry, I had his keys. I refused to give him his keys to his car. He ended up breaking my car, jumping through it, and almost ripping his ear off. But ended up in the hospital with a blood alcohol 5 times the legal limit, and it was alcohol poison. I can't imagine how I would feel if I would have given those keys up. I literally refused.
Drink at home or smoke weed at home. Better than that.
Or
smoke some dope.
Go to the Kava bar.
Go to the Kava bar where you don't get drunk. It's alcohol free.
But you still have a nice little buzz. But don't do the Delta 9 because it will screw with you.
Just do it at home.
Yeah, please
be
do
safe.
it at home. Be safe. Let's get to our closing. Rook's favorite part, right?
It is. All right. Please check out all of these awesome creators, witches and wonderfuls. Paranormal Witch, who's Lady Rose 819 on Instagram. I will be checking out her blog when she posted. It is dedicated to Dragon Dancer today. That is very kind. Unexplained Possibilities on YouTube and Instagram. He interviews so many awesome people. I think goes live usually on Wednesdays late.
And has a book coming out.
Yes, in January
2024.
In 2024, we think. So please check him out, and we'll be sure to post when his book is finalized for a release date. Addie Estate on YouTube and most social media, who along with this guy does a Friday night podcast at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Apocrypha.
Voices of the Hidden.
Voices of the Hidden.
Basically, love two people like talking shit about shit. But today, I believe he's doing it today and most Sundays.
Oh, I want to check it out.
He's doing Coffee with Satan.
Yeah, check it out. I'm going to.
He even called it a Sunday service, which I'll let it slide because that was our own name. I'm just saying. But yes, we're going to check it out today. Hopefully won't miss it. I believe he goes live in about half an hour. So it's 12:30 Central, which would be 1:30 Eastern. So check that out.
Check him out. And content coming soon from Mystic, Manny, and Dragon Dancer.
I didn't see all the furry rage in here, so I don't know if there's going to be a coming soon joke this week.
Yeah, I didn't see Fur.
Fur.
And we are Two Pondering Pagans on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you so much for hanging out. Be safe. I can't say that enough. It's not worth it. We want to see you all here in 2024. Love you guys, and I hope you have a great and safe New Year's and a great week and a great start to 2024. Bye.
Deuces.